Okay. Gotta say, this beta for Icarus is really pretty. I mean, this is an amazing weather system. The rain, the weather, information, the trees swaying. The realism is amazing. I just killed a bear not too long ago with my crossbow of death. But the crossbow, I only got 5 bolts left, but I can make more, of course. But since we're in a storm, the world is just gorgeous. I'll go ahead and just shut up my area here. When the storms are passing, I'll give you the tour inside. Alright, so a little tricky with the fires, to be perfectly honest. I have burnt my house down twice, and I'm not proud of it, but it has happened. Now, water does damage your house over time. You saw that little number there. I don't know where it is, but the durability of this particular bench, I think it's part of it sticking outside. Let me just see. If not, there's a leak in the roof or it's just a bug. Not 100% sure why, but it is possible that there is a bug. So, let's just take a look and see if I have any tools here. I do not know where my hammer went. I usually have one. It's kind of a weird bug going in and out of the game. You seem to lose tools from time to time. If you want to repair something, though, you can repair it pretty quickly. The other item I'm looking for is the hammer. Hammer time. Which I guess should be right here. So I need some stone. I think I have some stone in this guy. Here's some. Okay. And I don't need to go into the bench, sorry. But I do want to go over the environments and stuff. It's pretty sweet. When they click that, you can craft, and now I've got one in my toolbar. Alright, forget about the spoiled meat. But I don't want to lose this, because this was an expensive thing to do. So for some reason, which I don't get, because I definitely have it sealed, at least I think, but it seems to be taking damage. Now the rest of the items don't. Need some oxygen. This is a really cool device. I do like both. I like this one and I like this one. The trick with this one is to not put too much in it. If you put too much oxide in it, you're just wasting it because it will continually use it because it'll fill up, you can see. But it says sticks, but it's actually supposed to say oxidizing or oxide. But that's how you do that. This is the Mortal and Pestle. Mortal and Pestle allows you to make certain things. The only thing I was able to make was tree sap and gunpowder, but you can't even use a gun yet. It's fine. In here we have your herbalism bench, which you can make bread and stuff. Now it says that the bread will not expire, except it does. It absolutely does. Now it might just do that for the beta, I'm not really sure. This particular device, though, is awesome, except one problem. It doesn't highlight like all the other ones do once you build it. The only thing it highlights are the jars that you make or the containers that you make. But a lot of people have been having a bug through this, so one of the things that I've done is you just gotta play with it and see where you can access it. But I usually find success on the back left of it. And once you're inside, you can see that you have your little refill containers. And I've got one that's full here, so I'm going to pull one out just so you can see what it does. Or actually, maybe I'll just... No, let's do this. We'll keep this here. And inside your screen for your character, you'll see that there's a bladder here that you can put this slot in. When you need it, you just right-click on it and select Consume. I wish it would automatically pull and just give me a warning, but it doesn't necessarily tell you. These are actually just spare oxygen tanks that you can take with you, which is pretty neat. The way that you fill these things up is pretty interesting too. If you have some oxide, which I do, there's tons of materials in this game, by the way, which is So if you have it, the second you drop it in, you want to watch this. So this starts to fill, and it will continue to fill all the way up. And let's see if it stops, unlike the other device. I'm just curious. Nope. So at this point, you're wasting resources. So I pull it out. That way I don't waste it. And it doesn't use the sulfur, but for some reason it keeps eating the oxide. So oxide actually is your life. I've died to not having oxygen, even though we're on a planet supposedly with oxygen, but we might not be human after all. Who the hell knows? But I like this. I really like it. So let's see. We'll go to this one, the Masonry Bench. Obviously, Masonry allows you to build stone stuff, which is great. I like how you have the benches separate. It even pulls from inventory, even if it's not in the tool table if you have it on you. Really good. So far, you're only able to craft certain things. Not a big deal. I've done a little bit of it, not a ton. I like how the fuel requires for the torches. You have to put sticks in. Which is great. Let's take another look outside in this beauty. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty surreal. They did a great job on their biomes. And as you can see, that little warnings audio thing came from my... When they get close with a crossbow, it's a pretty much one-shot, one kind of thing. Now, I like to pick up my crossbow bolts from the animal, but sometimes you can do it after you harvest it. What's cool about this game is you actually can lift your animal. You can swim with it, you can jump with it. It's kind of nice. You can go in and out of third person and first person by hitting C. Jumping into the house with an animal on your head, no big deal. If you hit the skinning bench, you'll get more resources. And what it does is it places the animal up on top like so. Doesn't hang it upside down like a real slaughterhouse would, but it's all cool. This is what you're going to get. And so once it goes through this resource, or this particular skinning process, which is pretty quick, you'll get all these supplies. And I've got a ton of supplies, honestly. This stuff, the deers and the different types of animals that you encounter, they all can be put into the skinning bench. It's really useful, really handy, and it gives you a good amount of supplies, better than you would harvesting. Let's go back outside. I got distracted. When it rains, your bucket here will fill up, and I just hit a drink. This is a rain catcher, kind of easy. But it's a kind of a one-off thing. I don't think that they have other ways to fill it up yet, at least I've seen. All it says is just press F, and it just tops off. It's like a one-sip kind of thing, one deal. I mean, I feel weird, like, when I see an animal, I have to just, like, kill it, because it's, like, standing there just doing nothing. Unless it's already dead. Which I don't think I missed, but... Oh. I mean, unless that's, like, glitch. Oh, there he goes. Now it should move. I mean, I'm not that bad of a shot, am I? Maybe I am. My bolts. But I love that little zoom in feature they give you when you actually get a kill from a mile away. Pretty awesome. You can pick up these animals even under the water, which is great. If you can find your bolts, that's also really nice. I wish that the bolts would stay in the animal and then you can like pull them out after you pull it out of the water. But you can retrieve the animal however you want. Everybody's house is different. I know my house isn't that great, but I'm just trying to kind of show you guys what's what with the different animals and stuff. I like this stuff. It's pretty fun. I don't know why. I just do. Anyway. Yeah, so sometimes the animals lay down, and it's kind of cute. They do that stuff. A little natural. That is a raccoon, believe it or not. And little sheep. So they have probably going to add more animals down the line, I'm assuming. But the building actually is pretty easy, not too hard. I did burn my house down, like I said, twice before. This is your escape pod. Once you actually are done collecting it, you're supposed to hit this, and then you're supposed to return to station. Now, I think they told us that they want us all to escape eventually. This right here is an unfinished mining node, which I kind of left, and me testing different nodes for resources to see if there was anything inside. Most of them, they're not. Most of them are just stone, but these are the resources like iron here that you can tap into. This is your oxite. This is silica, I think, and this is sulfur. And this one is aluminum. So you can just kind of go through each one. They have a wide variety of stuff. But I love the weather. It's really, really nice. It's really pretty. And if you're doing a game like this, it's just almost therapeutic to play by yourself, really. I mean, if you're going to play with friends, it's fine, but I enjoy something like this by myself, and then maybe co-oping with one other person. I severely hope they keep this game as a PvE only. PvP just kind of ruins the stuff. Now you can see these over here. This is part of the stone foundations. They're rather large, but it's supposed to give you elevation, and I guess that's true because when a bear comes knocking, you definitely want to have something like this. If you look at with the hammer, you can see the durability is at 1500, and the other ones are 1000. I think it's a little uneven there. The durability of this should be stronger, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I have this little lookout thing that's just so I can shoot animals, but I realize I can literally just keep my door open and they just walk in front of me, so I don't even have to go anywhere. They just come to me. But all in all, I'd say the game is spectacularly beautiful. The environment's very rich. If you mine one of these nodes, a lot of people have had some issues. I don't actually have very many issues. There are some bugs, of course, it's a beta. When you're mining a node and you get down to the nitty-gritty, if you have little floating spectacles, it mathematically knows that it's got 90% of it, and it just makes them disappear, which is really nice, so you don't get any floating debris like you do in Space Engineers and stuff like that. Not that Space Engineers is not a great game or anything, it is. When I say floaty, I mean it's not left over, and it just knows and it calculates and disappears. In this case, you can see I got a floaty, but it's different. I haven't finished the node. If I finish the node, the entire thing will disappear. And in this case, you can see that there's floaties in here, right? No big deal. Now, I can hit those little specks if I really want to, but the second I get to 90%, all of them will disappear at some point. Or 95%, maybe. Alright, I'd say I got that clean. Job's done. Anyway, yeah, the bushes. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the bushes. Fiber is very easy to grab. Now, I think that the sickle is almost useless at this point. I don't see the use for it. Every time I use it, it's kind of a struggle. I get more by gathering by hand than I do using the tool. So, I'm not sure if they got that balanced just yet, or if I leveled my guy to gather resources better by hand, but that's kind of what it is. I do really like the fact that you have to process your own food, oxygen, and water. I think people are getting finally used to that when they need to do that. But these little things are great too, because you see oxide on the ground just randomly. You need to pick those up. Those are like freebies. These little branches here, which is this is one of the small trees, which is really weird. I can harvest this by my hand, but I cannot use a sickle on it. It's kind of backwards, I think. But for time's sake, I have a feeling that they do that on purpose. Like, I think that there's some other motivation. Now, this is just a beta. They're not giving us all the answers. They're just kind of letting us complain and whine and all that stuff. But at the same time, there's some really good stuff going on here. I really, really, really like it. It's very pretty. It's something very, like I said, therapeutic in a way, regardless of the dangers. The wolves killed me several times. I don't really think it's a problem. A new drop pod drops you down here. Now, in the future on releases, I'm thinking that they'll do. You will have a new random location if you don't build a bed. So building the bed's like super important. Actually, building a bed, getting to a bed is actually pretty challenging. The regular bedroll is easy, but the bed itself is a little challenging. So you can see that nightfall's coming and the temperature is dropping. I love the little sprites in the air. I think Valheim was one of my first like experiences with that, which is really good. This is on par with the beauty of Valheim, I want to say, but it's not on par with being polished. There's not a lot to do other than fish and hunt and mine, right? And build. I guess that's kind of what we're after here. Now you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, I just went retarded. Now here's a wolf. Now if you're in stealth mode, you can kill it pretty easily. If you're not in stealth, and I think I just missed him, like the dot's on there, but he didn't, and I'm out of arrows. So I'm going to show you another technique, and that's jumping in the water. So I jump in the water, and usually the wolf chases me in the water. Oh, unless he's not in there. Nope, he did not chase me in the water. Where the hell did he go? Hey, wolfie. Guess he's smart. Been wanting to. A smart wolf. Hey, wolf. What the hell? What are you walking away for? The fish is trying to kill him right out here. Come on. You're just gonna lay there and stretch, or what? Maybe he wants to be tamed. He does not want to be tamed. I just swim backwards, and then they sink like rocks to the bottom. It's kind of funny, actually. The little fish that was nibbling at me, they're not piranhas, but they take a little bit of your health away. I kind of like that whole catapulting, jumping thing out of the water. It's kind of interesting. I am carrying a wolf, by the way, on my back. And yeah, so it's going to become nightfall. I put a torch out here just to kind of have something to, you know, light it up. And there's two different sections, one to refill, one to turn it on. No big deal. Nightfall's coming, so that'll last a little while. In the house, it can get pretty dark, so I have just a couple of torches, minimum stuff. Oops. Just to kind of keep myself not in the dark. But I totally like this whole feature here. I think this skinny thing is cool. My oxygen's getting low. Gotta take a hit. Thank God my voice doesn't change. Yeah, I'm a little weird, I know. Anyway, I like this part. I mean, I kind of did this feature really to kill stuff, and in case there was a bear, bear's probably gonna shred through your stuff. No joke. A wolf can chew through your wall in probably 4 bites or something like that, so a bear probably gonna destroy your stuff. Lighting your house on fire is also something that you gotta be very careful of. So place your torches and other stuff in good spots, otherwise you will see a chain reaction like no other in any other game I've ever experienced, and you will be sad because you will have to chop a lot more trees. So don't be a douche and jump around with your teammates either, because You're just gonna jump into the fire, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna catch on fire, and then the floor is gonna catch on fire, and then everything will catch on fire so quick you won't be able to put it out. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't do it. Don't jump into the fire. And you will piss some people off if you burn their houses down. People are already complaining; they're already getting grief by their own friends, which totally makes sense because that's what they do. They're dumb. In a survival game, co-op game, or any kind of game like this, it really needs to be PvE with no griefing. I mean, you can't control your friends, and it's probably a little fun to mess around with them, but at some point in time, they should really give some really good PvE content so that you're not just surviving, but you're also exploring and trying to do stuff. In the night, the sky is really cool. You can actually see constellations in other bodies like moon and stuff like that. I have not gone up to the ship. They don't allow that yet in the beta, but I figured that was pretty cool. Some orbital rotation of another planet that's somewhere close ish, I guess. I mean, that's pretty close. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. They did a really good job. I mean, you want to have a surreal feeling in your game, and they did a good job of making that feeling feel that way. And there's a lot more to it. I mean, the talent tree alone is huge. I mean, it's just massive. I totally dig that. Which, you want to have this really crazy progression. The tiers that they have, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm sure there's more after that, honestly. But as you can see, you can unlock certain things. Like, this is tier 1. Everybody kind of will cover, most other people will cover all this much better than I will, but I didn't build every single thing. I just built kind of what I needed to. Now, not everything's available yet either, because some things will say, coming soon, On tier 1, it looks like everything's there. Like, you could have built everything if you wanted to, but I was being particular about some stuff. And I didn't even build the stone piles or anything. I could have built those. I don't even know how those work yet. On your talent tree, though, there's I guess I should go back to the tier tree. Tier 2 is a lot of things, more buildings and unlocks. I like their system, their little tree system that they got going on with a timeline. I wish you could just drag on the timeline left and right with either a middle mouse or a mouse or right and left. I guess you can with the right mouse button, now that I just figured that out. That's way more convenient than dragging the bar at the bottom, my god. Anyway, armor, pluses, all those things are great. You don't really get a gun until, I think, tier 3. I'm actually kind of happy about that. I think, right now I can one-shot almost anything with either a bow or a crossbow. So a gun is almost unnecessary. So I really think they need to up the power of a bear. If you get a bear after you, you should probably run. Water is your best bet. You can fight the bear on land. A lot of people saying that they've been using the knives and stuff. I would never risk that. In real life, you wouldn't stand a chance with a knife unless you were close range and you were able to put it right in his brain. Even then, I think they can still kill you. Just watch The Revenant, you'll find out. And here is tier 3. Everything is locked, so you can't do anything in that beta, but a lot of good stuff here. I mean, honestly, I think there's a lot of good stuff. Some things that might not be useful. Like, I didn't even build thatch. Like, tier 1, I just skipped thatch altogether and went straight to wood. Didn't even have a problem with it, like, at all. I didn't even unlock a single piece. So there was no prerequisite that you must do this to do this, which was nice, but it also made this tier completely useless. So there's that. Let's see. The talent tree. Oh yes. There's all sorts of stuff. Now, this survival, under the survival one, you have resources, exploration, hunting, and cooking. Now, I have only been in the survival. I didn't even bother the construction tree. Like, I don't know what they have planned, but there are a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. And I haven't even got a chance to, like, speed whacker. Combat. I mean, we're talking lots of stuff. I didn't put any points into this stuff. 0. And I'm still, like, OP as shit. I'm just, like, wrecking things. Solo mode. Also, I am playing solo. Which is funny, because I didn't put any points into this solo mode tree at all. I only did it under survival. And I was fine. I mean, I died a bunch of times. Like, that's normal for a survival game. Anyway, this is the cloth outfit. It gives you a little bit of more armor. I did make a full set of fur. I'm trying to see where I put it. I think it's in here, yeah. I haven't seen what that looks like, so I guess I'll just do it now. I can't do that yet. Let's see. My inventory is full. It's fine. Can't double click it to replace the item. That's interesting. Okay. So, you gotta drag it. Aha. And chest. Aha. Okay. For a leg piece. Armor, gloves. Perfect. Okay. I got one more piece in there. It goes the boots. Fur feet. Fur feet. What a great name. I love that. Fur feet. Oops. I'm retarded. Okay. Bam. Okay. Now, you can see all of this is your min-max for gear. If you want to see more, holy crap, you can. And there's a lot to it. I mean a lot. A lot. I mean, for a beta, they did a lot of work, and this is really cool. I mean, they got a lot of good convenience things. They got some things they still got to work out, but honestly, I think for the beta test, they did a really good job. And I think it's still nightfall. It is. Nighttime, they also have some fog effects, very, very light fog effects, which is great. I like the sound effects too in the game, although I continually rubber band whenever I hear it. It sounds like a raptor, but it's not. It's like it's a raccoon, yeah. But I still keep my head in the swivel. But at nighttime, there's nothing scarier than something sneaking up on you that's a bear. Like, that is super freaky in the middle of the night, like coming out here. So if you are out there and you're not near water, you better prepare for death. That's all I gotta say. Bears will wreck your shit. Don't know what the spoiled meat will need yet. What you can do with it, I have no idea. I just throw it in here. It doesn't seem to tell me anything. There's berries you can consume, stuff like that. Not a whole lot, I guess. I don't particularly like their chests. I think they could really use some work on those. We're in a primitive state, though. I love that. See that news flash? Weather's coming, you know, minor showers. I love that. I think it's so cool how they do that. That's a great little thing. And then they have this music that ramps up like an airplane. You can hear it. And it builds until the storm's on you. And watch. I guess you can really hear that music inside. Oh, there's the stuff. There it is. And it's very light rain. My am curious to see if I'm still taking damage on this one. I'm not. So far. They did a great job with the sound effects too, because like, I'm in a different part of the room, and it's all wet and windy because I have windows, right? You can hear that, which is what you want, right? To hear and see. But when you come back into your house, if you have no windows, it's peaceful and calm. You just hear the wind outside just like you would in real life, which I think is pretty great, you know? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more I could probably talk about, but as far as the map goes, you usually see yourself as a little, like, red blip. I don't know what the distinguishment is between these three things. This first one is still an aerial view, looks the same. The second one is, it's not a heat map, it's something. It just kind of gives you something different, doesn't really tell you. Third one, it shows like combination of both. I explored pretty much everything there is to explore. I didn't see any caves or anything yet. They might have that at some point, but I don't think so yet. Yeah, I'm interested. I know the map is pretty big. At some point in time, we'll be able to really fully explore it. It's going to be great. Challenges, I mean, there's going to have all sorts of great stuff there. But, yeah, that's it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.